Let us continue with our lesson and let us try to refactor our the login view model and also the login function over here. So for that, what I will do is I'll just copy the whole function and let us go over here and create a new function, and I'll call this one as a do login. And instead of returning the live data, we are not going to return a live data over here. And what I will do is instead of the live data, I will make use of the coroutine scope over here. So I'll say a view model scope. So view model scope dot launch it. Sorry, launch the view model scope. So the view model scope comes with the view model which has the life cycle over, and whenever the view model is destroyed, the view model scope and the coroutine running inside this view model scope will also be destroyed. So if you are curious about the view model scope and how does it actually work, I have a separate course on the Kotlin coroutines. You can just go and purchase that course, or if you need a coupon or anything discount coupon, you just let me know. And if you're interested, just do drop me a message, and there I have mentioned all of the view model scope and the launcher builder, everything I have mentioned clearly. So here I'm not talking it the more in more detail. We are just making use of view model scope, and that launches a coroutine scope. And this view model scope will, whatever we run inside this, will be destroyed whenever our view model is destroyed. So we don't want the task running that is running in the background whenever our view model is scoped. That will obviously cause a memory leak. And for that, I'll just copy all of this and just paste it over here. And now what I will do is check this launch builder. I'll just launch in the pass it as a dispatcher. Then I will run in the IO thread. So it's a separate thread that we want to run. Create a dispatcher.io. And since this is a background thread, we have to make use of a post value, and there is nothing so much we can change over here. And only the if request code is 200, then we are getting the login value. So since we have a login value, what we can do is we can call this function to save the record. So we'll call the, sorry, not the login, we will call the save the data, save the user data. So once we have the data over here, response body, then we will call that particular function over here, save data, and here we have to pass the login that response body. So that should be this one, right? Let's copy and paste it over here. This is the body, so we need, okay, so we have to pass it not now, and just remove this section. And okay, so just remove the image because we are not going to emit, we are not using a live data. And then if we have the error, then that should be this one, that's fine. And now we will go to this particular save user detail. Here we will also duplicate this one, and we will create a separate function and to call it as a save the user, we just say as a preference over here. And instead of this one, we don't want to call it, and we will just call this save the user detail, and this is a suspend function. So since this is a suspend function, what we want to do is we will call using a view model scope and dot the launch over here. And inside this launch, I can just call this one function, just copy this one and paste it over here. Sorry, it should be login repository, right? Just copy and paste it over here and just remove this section. Yeah, we are making use of a coroutine view model scope. That should be more better. And these two functions, now we can just comment it out. If you want to keep it, you can just keep it using this one. We are not going to use this one. And now we have to refactor our fragment or the activity for the login. And instead of the save user detail, we have to call now save user preference. Just copy and paste it over here, right? And then what we will do is we will go back to the login activity, and now whenever we are logging, we have to call the view model. So the view model dot, we will call the do login and pass the login request over there. Just pass this one, and we don't have to save it, this one. And then what we have to do is save user detail, right? So we don't have to call this one, and this is because we don't have to call it because we have already mentioned over here. So when we get the status code 200, that means that it was successful, and then we pass it to the save user preference, which will save the user detail for us. And the next thing is that whenever we have to observe, we have to make use of observe if success. If it is not success, then we are showing the dialog of unsuccessful. Otherwise, in the else part, or else if it is success, then we can just finish this one and then start the new activity. And in the else part, we will just say that the else, and in the else we will call the unsuccessful dialog over here. Okay, and that should be fine. So we are just observing, and this save data we don't have to call anymore, so we can remove that one. So we have refactored that one, and we are just listening to the is success. So is success is already updated over here, and if it is true, that means we are going to log into the main activity. And what we will do is we'll just try to run this one for now, and let us try to test it out. And let's go back to the application over here, and I think we have to uninstall the application, and let us try to uninstall the application. I think we don't have the option to log out for now, and I think that we should add the function to log out. So for now, what I will do is I'll just go and uninstall the application. So to do app, just uninstall it, and let me run it one more time. Let us open the device, and let me try to log in. So demo1 at gmail.com, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and let us try to log in. Login failed. Please check your login details. So is it the password correct? Demo1, and what was the password? I think is the user not correct? So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Login failed. Is that correct? Or our method is not correct? Login failed. Please check. Okay, so I think that's the Gmail. Sorry for that. It's the email Gmail, right? Just log in. Yeah, now we can log in, and we don't have any error. So which means that everything looks perfect. And only thing is that I will just refactor that one as the private method. So since we are just calling inside the view model, and that's look better. So that's look better, right? So we have refactored it, and we are not passing any live data, so we don't have so much messy code over here. We are just observing the live data, and depending on that particular live data, we are doing all of the views reflecting the change in our view. That's great. So that should be the main purpose of the login at the view model. So view model should handle the data, and the fragment and the activity are just responsible to react to the changes of the live data. So whenever the live data changes, then depending on that one, we can react to our views. So that's all for this lesson. Hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.